Yesterday, I was out in the city with a good friend of mine, Anna, and as we were walking, we were wondering, when did we stop laughing? When grown-up people and maturity starts to overleap, to superpose itself with seriousness, when being mature starts meaning that you need to be serious and stop laughing, because we actually, while walking on the street, we realized that we miss a good healthy laugh like we used to do when we were much younger and we were enjoying our lives and traveling around the world. So here is Anna, my good friend Anna. I need to introduce her right away in our podcast, which is sort of a pursuit of happiness. Because sometimes it comes a time in life when you think or you believe or you just feel or sense in a way or another that you kind of lost your happiness. And here starts our story. Here starts my journey of inviting people in this podcast on the pursuit of happiness. We need to chase for happiness together. Do we need to chase it? Do we need to find it in a quiet place, in a small thing, in, I don't know, in the crowd, in silly things? Where is happiness? What is happiness? How can we become happier every day? How can we become happier in our daily lives? I want to introduce Anna. We know each other for a lot of years now. And with this history behind, we can understand more about our lives and about happiness and about how we used to be, how we are now. Is it different? Is it not? It's so valuable, the fact that we grow up in a way or another together, because we have a testimony, a live testimony of our memories and our behaviors from the past, and somebody can tell the story.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is absolutely amazing. And now looking back and looking at times and looking at what is it now in your life and in our lives, in each one's life, I think that you kind of nailed it. I think that you kind of found the happiness.
That's nice. Thanks for thinking that. And first of all, thank you for inviting me. I'm super excited to dive into this conversation, and let's see what we find out, actually. So, yeah, for me, I have to say that I was looking for happiness like for many years, and was like a lot of up and down till I found it. And I cannot say that actually I was just looking for happiness. Actually, I was looking more for something to give me some joy, because we are not actually really taught what happiness means. So I start with looking for something that makes me happy, and it's coming more from inside, from me, not from something outside, like for example, like boyfriends or job or I don't know, some other things from outside, from money or some materials things. Yeah. So yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Let me pop a question. Can you remember the way you described or felt happiness in your childhood?
Actually, yes, it was very interesting, because in some point when I was like working and I wasn't happy with my job, I remember a moment when I was in holidays in my aunt's place in Harghita. And I remember that I was lying on the grass and looking at the sky, at the at the clouds. And I had this moment where I practically connected with myself, and I was like just happy without any reason. So then was the moment when I realized that it's not something outside, it's something inside, that you have to find it inside first. And after that, the other things are coming slowly, obviously. But yeah, I was going inside. And that's why actually I wanted to go to meditate, because I thought that if I meditate, I'm gonna get inside to find that place that I think is there all the time, actually. We just have to access it.
Yeah, but this is, well, we know all these things now, and we know that we are grown-ups, and that we have many practices that increase our happiness.
Yeah.
So like working out or meditating, or it's like an inner hygiene of the life. But we were in childhood when we specifically distinguished between pleasures and joy and excitement and happiness, and what we needed to get from others, what was provided by the environment, or what was brought to us by mistake, let's say, or by default, by chance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, so let's not jump to the adulthood and the moment when you started meditating as a tool to increase happiness. Let's stay there in the small pleasures, in the small, the curiosity. Let's look at the world with some very pure lenses.
Yeah, I think that's a very good observation, because actually I think that the happiness is different at every age. Like obviously the happiness at 30 or 40 or 60 is not the same like the happiness for a child. So obviously we're starting like looking for happiness that at that age when you're a child through the parents. A little bit. It's coming from the parents first. It's like attending you when you need, giving you like maybe freedom, sometimes maybe not. Also having like fun with your friends and having an animal, whatever it is at that age. And I have to say that the childhood was very nice for me. I had a very nice childhood. But after that, when you start to get into the teenagerhood, starts to be complicated. So then I think that all these ideas from the society, from the parents, all the maybe their fear starts to come over you, because obviously they are parents, they want you to be like an adult that it's independent, it's contributing to the society, you have a good job, you have a good salary, and you have a very good, let's say, material situation. So then obviously your ideas, like a child, what made you happy in that time, we're going to change depending on the society, what is requiring from you. And then I think it's creating that split. It's like from what you feel inside and what the people around you in the society is asking from you. So you start to put masks to suppress what you are and what you want. And sometimes you don't even know what you want because you're a child.
Exactly.
So actually, when you need a bit of guidance to find what you want, it's like impose something on you that maybe is not who has to come out.
Exactly.
So then I think it's the way then we start to go away from the happiness. We start to practically follow orders and follow what the society is telling you. And probably that time it's gonna stay with you till you start to have some kind of, let's say, moments of unhappiness, depression. Maybe you realize that maybe you don't like your job, you don't like the relationships you are in, you don't like the place where you are practically. Mm-hmm. And like, for example, for me, it started when I had like a big emptiness inside. I was completely empty. And if you want to go a little bit into the details, it was a paradox because I was living in Spain in that time, and I remember that I was with some friends on a yacht in the middle of the Mediterranean, and I started to cry in the toilet in the yacht, and I was like, something is wrong with me, because apparently I had all the material goods and situation at work and boyfriend situation and everything, but I was so empty inside.
What was missing, Anna?
I wasn't happy. It was that disconnection from who actually I am, So it was practically, I realized in that moment that everything that I had wasn't fulfilling me. I was just doing things just for doing them, just to have a salary, to have a boyfriend, to have like what everybody else thought that it's good, that it's like, oh, okay, she has a good salary, a good position, whatever,
But, yes, but how did you manage to put yourself in that situation? Was it anything forced, or was it by your own choices?
That's the paradox, because nobody's coming to you like, do that, It's because I think personally is that we are not taught to be aware of what we feel inside, and we are not taught to say, no, this is not what I feel. I don't want to go in that direction, and I want to explore my what I feel, my feelings and my ideas. So practically, to have like an example, when I had to choose a university, I didn't know which one. So probably it would have been better for my parents to say, okay, take a job, do whatever, and let's see when you find something. But they forced me to go to a university, which wasn't mine, my let's say, wish, just to go to the university because everybody was going to the university.
Exactly. It's still a trend in Romania to do this after high school.
I think it's everywhere.
Yeah, everybody must attend a faculty, a university, in order not to remain a simple worker.
Yeah.
With no high education.
Exactly.
But I think it's pretty normal. Now that I've studied psychology, I know that the prefrontal cortex is not developed until the 24 or 25 years. So you wouldn't know what you exactly want. So somebody needs to tell you, somebody from the outside, like your mom or your favorite teacher, needs to take the place of your prefrontal cortex in order to take this
job.
Decisions for you, because you are not exactly able to make choices, to take all the decisions, because you don't have a very crystallized idea of who you want to become, of who you exactly are, what are your needs, what do you like, what you don't like. You don't really have all these things figured out and all your boundaries figured out. So you cannot apply them around you.
Correct.
You don't know what offends you. You don't know what makes you upset. You don't know what makes you curious. You know, on a small level, on an instinctual level. And you know, because you had during teenager time the opportunity to explore where you are in relationship with other teens, with your peers. Yeah. And then you know that maybe you're a follower, or you're a leader, or you're an igniter or an initiator of something, or you're the bad guy, or you're the good guy, or you're the yes man, or you're the renegade. I don't know. You just take roles, play with the teens in your group.
Yeah.
And then you start to understand different things about yourself. And then you, of course, study in school. You know what are your interests, what you do with ease, what you like to do, what comes to you with the less effort. and the most reward.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then maybe this is the secret of following your inner voice on the pursuit of happiness and of joy, the joy of life, the genuine joy of life that we are looking for. Because, there is a study that says that we have, based on our personality, based on our behaviors, based on our education and experience from the past, we have a baseline for the happiness. Of course, we will never stay only on that baseline. We sometimes go down, we sometimes go up. We cannot be only happy, all excited and overly, extraordinarily happy, or extraordinarily sad or depressed. This is not normal. It's psychotic to be like this. We are on a curve. But anyway, the study says that we tend, after being very unhappy or after being extraordinarily happy, we tend to go back to that baseline that we are used to. Still, other researchers have discovered that you can push your baseline higher and higher, but this goes only in adulthood, because adult people starts to improve and starts to actively, coherently, rationally look for ways of being happy, and they are looking for their well-being. And of course, they know that there are inner factors and outer factors that are influencing the well-being and the happiness and the joy. The internal factors are related to genetics, to mindset, to resilience. The genetics, they say it matters 50%.
Wow, quite a lot.
Yes. For the happiness, the happiness is determined 50% by genetics, they say. Then there is the mindset, the growth mindset. Some people, they have it, they just have the drive, they just want to grow like rockets, and other people are more pessimistic or more introverts, or they're not that happy and like a dynamite, always shining, sparkling, and ignited to find some joy, some new, the mojo.
I think it's related also if you are introverted or extroverted, because you practically express that happiness in a different way. But maybe inside they feel the same, but it's a different way of looking for it and express it.
Yeah. How are you? Like, on which side do you think you're on?
I think I'm actually balanced. I want to think about that it's balanced now, because when I was younger I was like more extroverted, and now I feel that I'm more introverted, but because also I like to be outside and like teach, and I'm going also into the extroversion.
Good. Question. When did you realize that your own joy is inner equilibrium and joy and peace, your inner happiness, is not necessarily related to external factors?
That's a good question, because
and let's then explain or identify the external factors.
Yeah.
So maybe we start from that, like identifying the external factors, and then we go to the main question. When did you realize that you don't depend on them, on the outside world for your inner happiness?
I think for me it was through failing, because when you fail so many times in relationships or in choosing the jobs, you get into a point where you get fed up practically, and then you start to look for another direction. For me it was like, okay, this is not working. I tried this.
What have you tried?
Like for example, with jobs, I tried different kind of jobs, and I realized that I'm not happy when I'm in a job where I have to listen orders, where I'm doing something boring. I mean, boring that was, for me, boring was like a job that wasn't creative. So I had to do all the time the same thing. And I couldn't express my creativity, which in that point I didn't know that I'm creative, but my way of being was like bored by what I was doing. So that was one of the things. And after that, for example, in relationships, again, I like to be free, to have like freedom. And every time when I was restricted and put in a kind of pattern or levels, again, I didn't like that. I was like, no, I can do this and that. I can be this and that. Why should I be just this? You know,
Good.
or follow this, like, for example, like the linear things like university, having kids, married, and having kids and having like a good job. So
Like, you should do this.
Exactly,
As they say,
yeah.
you should do this.
Exactly.
You don't have to do it if you don't
No.
feel like. You don't need to fit into anyone's box.
no, exactly. You have to follow this inner voice. And for me, again, was a problem because I didn't want to have kids and was like very strange for many people. So I had to sometimes
To confront their judgmental opinion.
Exactly. So those were like the, let's say, the main things that that push me in looking for something else.
Good.
Which I didn't know for what I'm looking, but it was like, must be something else there, something that it's my way of being.
So by now, we have identified 3 external factors that are influencing your happiness. The first one was related to relationships.
Yeah.
And the way they make you feel.
Mm-hmm.
On one hand is this strong social connection, but on the other hand was the constriction and following some things.
Yeah, some structures of the society that, yeah.
Or things that somebody else is expecting from you.
Exactly, expecting. Yeah.
Another external factor was related to work and not doing what you like to do and not feeling this sense of purpose and mission and creative expression of the self.
Yeah.
I don't hear anything about money. Money doesn't make us happy.
Yes, obviously you need them, but I wasn't going for money. Actually, it's in a way it's surprising me also because, yeah, you need money, but yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I wasn't into the money. I was like, I want to do something that I love, that is giving me like, it's filling up my body and my being of fulfilling, of happiness. I don't know. It's like joy, actually joy.
Yeah. Okay.
So when I was, for example, when I was a child, I was trying all the time to do like creative things. So I was like, for example, destroying some things of my mom, like jewelry, and putting it together in a different way. And I remember that feeling, and I wanted to do exactly that thing, not necessarily doing jewelry, but to go back to that feeling, creative feeling, and yeah, to get lost into doing something. With hands, maybe.
Good.
That was the thing.
We are identifying slowly but steady a few markers of the pursuit of happiness and because to be in a flow,
Yeah.
to be in agreement with who you are, to be. But let's not jump there because we're still at the factors.
Another one.
Good. Give me
Another
one.
one. It's I didn't like to receive orders. So for me, also the freedom, it's really important because I like to organize my day according with how I feel, and that it's important when I start, for example, the day to know, okay, what do I want to do today? And to prioritize what it's the most important for me, and after that to do the things that are not important, like for example cleaning the house or cooking or everything like that. That is coming after I filled up my soul, let's say.
It's fulfilled.
Yeah, exactly. So then I'm okay with doing the other jobs that I don't like them too much after actually I feel good inside. So, but this, like you said, this realization came after that, many years after that. But in that time was just, I want to be free. I want to be free. So this freedom was really important for me.
Good. Nice. I want to be free as well. This is what this was the realization of this year, 2025. I want to be free from different kind of constrictions. But you cannot always get away from the life you have and the responsibilities that you have because you made some of choices and you're finding yourself in a situation where you have to deal with what you realized until now.
Totally. I think
so you cannot just leave.
Sorry. Yeah. I think that it's not that, you cannot leave. I think it's practically, it's also, this is a construction that we tell ourselves. I think obviously we build up something and after that it's very difficult to destroy it and start something new. And this, I mean, it's like the fear that is coming, it's the feeling that, wow, I built so much and now I have to destroy it and maybe it's not working what I'm going to do next. So it's completely understandable. But in the same time, like for me, for example, what worked was I didn't focus in that, let's say, negative or fear. I focused in what can I discover? What can I explore now? What's going to make me happy? So I focus all the time, my attention in the excitement, in the curiosity.
Good. This is beautiful.
Doesn't mean that I wasn't afraid. I was super afraid. I had problems, health problems, but I choose all the time the curiosity and the
belief.
Freedom.
The belief that you will achieve what you want because you are very clearly aware of what you want.
Exactly.
And didn't get lost on the way.
Exactly.
And didn't let go of what you want.
Yeah.
As in self-sacrifice. Because a lot of people are sacrificing themselves and their way of being and their dearest wishes in life to become because of different other things. But we have to think about the fact that fear is not going to lead us anywhere good.
No.
Fear is just going to hold you back. And on the other side of fear, there is nothing, just anxiety. While on the other side of courage, or beneath the courage, is this belief. This I believe that I can do this. Is this somehow like a higher self or like a divine plan?
Exactly.
Like you embrace the freedom, knowing that there is a divine purpose for you.
Yeah.
Somewhere beyond the fear that is holding you back.
I had this belief of if there is a God and put me here on this planet, I don't think that God wants me to suffer. I couldn't understand any reason for God wanting me to suffer. So I was like, okay, that means that has my back. Whatever I'm doing has my back. So I was like, okay, God, I'm doing this crazy stuff, quitting my job, quitting relationship, moving countries and all that. I was like, let's see what's happening, what God wants from me. And it was a big surprise.
Good. This is so very brave of you, to just let yourself go and be guided by that inner voice and trusting like crazy in your pursuit, even when you had nothing left.
Yeah, but it wasn't all the time peace and love. I mean, I had moments when I was like really low, really doubting everything. But I don't know, I think there is, if you connect with that force inside, with really your soul, and you know that there is peacefulness there and there is a support for you. So I didn't want to give up because there are so many sayings that a lot of people are giving up exactly before, like, a week to meet, I don't know, the love or whatever, like having a job. So I was like, no, I prefer to die than to give up.
Lovely. Who taught you being so tough?
I don't know, maybe life, or maybe, like you said, maybe it's the genetics also, because per general, I'm a positive person. I'm optimistic. I'm like I said, I really believe that I'm here to be happy. So I don't accept less than that.
Good. Yeah. Sounds amazing.
And I think that for everybody it should be like that. I mean, obviously it's not a should, it's what they decide to choose. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I believe that everybody can be happy.
But you are not always like this. You didn't know all this stuff from the beginning of your life. No. You have learned them not by chance, but by some of them were by chance, like yes. A book that came across to you
from you.
Yes, or yes. That encounter with that
the monk.
Yes,
yeah.
And then you just jumped out of your car and said, hey, yes. You gotta tell me everything that you know.
And it's funny, he told me, you already know, you just have to remember it. Like, okay, that sounds easy, but I don't remember anything yet, Okay. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, I think that actually we have all the tools. We have nowadays, actually, with the internet, we don't have any excuse practically because we have books, we have information at hand. We have so many teachers around us, like physical, but also I think everything, the nature is a teacher, the animals are a teacher. If you just want to learn, there is information everywhere. And yeah, I mean, after you gave me that book, I took all the teachers from that book and I studied them and I was like, okay, I want to know what these guys are knowing, why are they happy, I can do the same, and so on. So it was like years of studying. I mean, I quit my job in 2010 and after that I went traveling and I was like practically 3 years I was studying, meditating and studying. Because I didn't have any idea, like you said, what makes me happy, in which direction I'm going. So practically I had to expose myself to different environments, different experiences, so I can understand and discover myself, what I like, what do I want to do next. In the same time, in parallel, was the fear of I don't have income. So I tried to take like little jobs to, for example, when I was in the ashram, I worked like for hours for my accommodation and food. I work in a winter resort, exactly. So I try to support myself and my discovery through little jobs that, they were like a compromise. It's not like suddenly was given me the next direction.
Exactly.
It's like the hero journey.
It was a journey.
Yeah.
It was a journey. So I from all the stories that you are telling me, I can understand now the red ribbon. Mm-hmm. There is a line.
Yeah.
There is a nice guiding line that is telling me that you have always listening to your inner voice and you have loved yourself and you have chosen yourself, and not in a selfish way at all, but in a way that is honoring your soul and a purposeful and meaningful life, which is in the end what we all want, to have a meaningful life, to be grateful, to be appreciated, to be validated, to be loved, to matter, and to bring something new, something good, something else in the world, something that makes a difference. Because sometimes happiness can be just having an ice cream, and this is the hedonic pleasure, is not quite a happy deal. But on the other hand, happiness comes from helping others or being in service for people.
Exactly.
And when you put yourself out there, being in service for others and telling, hey, this is what I discovered and I'm sharing it with you, I'm bringing it back to you, I'm giving it back to the world. This is when and where, this is the place where the magic starts, begins.
Yeah.
From, and from now on, it skyrockets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So tell me, we got there. Now we are connected. Now we feel the tears in our eyes. Now we feel the knot in our throat. And now we can talk from this emotional level about the joy of giving back to the world what you already are full of on the inside. Because if you're empty, there is nothing you can give back.
Exactly.
But if you're full, then you give with joy.
It's
just
to come out like
exactly,
a fountain. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have a fountain to share with the world now, Anna.
Yeah, I think it's obviously coming back to the beginning of the question. It's like, obviously there is this material world, and you want to enjoy the life in this body, and you want to enjoy an ice cream, meeting a friend, doing like very normal things that give you happiness. Because it's a happiness for the body and happiness even for your mind. If you are more intellectual and you like to dive into very intellectual subjects, and the happiness for the soul. So when you start to cover all this, to respect your body, to let it sleep, to respect what is feeling and give it to the body, you start to feel good in the body, to have all these hormones that they are balanced. And after that, obviously, is coming the happiness that it's resulting from serving. And this is something that it's not new. Practically all the masters, all the teachers, they say that when you are filled and you are balanced and you are like fulfilled, automatically you want to give back, because it's almost radiating from you. And you understand that you have something, you have an experience, and you can not necessarily teach, because you cannot force your teaching in anybody, but it's coming naturally. And whoever is resonating with you are going to see that, because always are going to be people that don't see that, because they don't resonate at that time probably. But those that resonate, they were gonna be inspired, let's say. I don't like to say that I'm teaching, or like I like to say that I love to inspire people. And if they find inspiration, I think that it's amazing. That's it. But yeah, I never wanted to go into actually being a coach or anything like that, because I like to be like flowing. So if it's happening, it's happening. If not, if not. So, yeah.
So we know what is behind the teaching and what Anna is saying. But for those of you who don't know Anna or what Anna does, she was cultivating her inner joy and happiness through painting. And she actually discovered the fact that she's very creative. So she was pursuing this flow and started painting 8 years ago or so.
Yeah, 9 years or 10 years actually. Yeah.
And she never stopped ever since.
Yes. It's an interesting, let's say, experience, because I started wanting to decorate my house. I never thought that I'm gonna get where I am now. So I just followed that feeling. I decorate the house and I couldn't stop actually decorating it. So what I want to bring actually, it's very how the life is working when you are in this path following your joy, is that I never wanted to teach, but I was invited to teach. and I never taught in my life, so I was a bit afraid, and I went there, and actually I love it. And after that, I received more invitation for teaching. So since then, I'm teaching more and more and develop a business. But I never rationally think or imagine that I'm going to be a teacher, I'm going to make money from art, and so on. So yeah,
So
I think there is like
you are teaching art classes.
Yes.
And the ways of painting.
yes,
And
exactly.
you have developed also online courses for
Yes,
this.
and retreats, and practically, yeah, it's a business that.
Good.
I think that the happiness is not something that it's like pure excitement and all the time, like you said, to stay up. It's something that it's like, it's a calm, and what is coming like peaks. This is a little bit.
Excitement.
It's all what the society wants to say that it is, or like impose it, because you see that there are like this idea that you have to be all the time happy, happy, happy. Actually, sometimes I have moments when I'm low, but it doesn't mean that I'm not happy. Actually, I'm just very calm, and but nothing is happening super exciting. You know, it's just that calm, and there is where I want to be now. It's like I want to be in this, let's say, baseline, you know. I don't know, maybe because I think a lot of people think that they have to be, oh wow, all the time something is happening. It's like exciting, it's good excitement, but you cannot be like that. It's exhausting after a while.
Yes.
You know?
Some of them are probably running away from themselves while
It's like a mask, like, oh, I'm good all the time. I'm like exciting. And they're looking for this excitement, but actually it's in a way, it's consuming you after a while. You know, it's like, I appreciate now at this age, I appreciate more the calmness. And I can be excited, and it's night, and I have projects. I'm very excited for them. But also when I'm going like a bit more low, also I'm not going super low. I'm going just there, like that I can lift myself very easily. It's like a day or two, and I'm back to the baseline. So it's not this huge difference between, these two.
Yes.
And also it's very tricky also and maybe also this is nice to say, for the spiritual people, that, for example, when I was in the ashram, the people had a problem, and like they were going down because they didn't get enlightened. It's a trap there also, that oh, I'm not enlightened, I'm not spiritual enough. It's like, just be. It's enough to be,
That's why we are called beings.
Exactly, yeah.
We just have to be,
Yeah.
not all the time to do.
Exactly.
Yes, I have identified a few ways of cultivating joy and happiness in your way of life. One of them is body workout, is being active and working out constantly.
True.
And I remember, you tell this, because you were so frustrated and I didn't understand what do you want from me. But now I got on the same page with you, finally.
Yeah, the story from our hike. Yeah, so I was hiking with Delia and another friend, and it was the storm coming. And I was afraid that, because it was like we were like in the mountains and could have been like a bit dangerous. So I wanted to run to the car, and they were a little bit slow. And at some point I got very frustrated. And I was like, "Why are you not doing sport?" And obviously they were not very happy with my observation and question. And after that, this remained like an inner joke.
You have to run for your life, Okay, so in the end, it's a very good thing. And another teacher, another spiritual teacher of mine told me, hey, you got to run from your depression. For real.
Yes.
If you don't want depression to catch you in your 50s, you got to run.
That's a good advice.
Yes, from another lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I think that it's, gratitude. It's good also to be good in your body. It's important. That's why I'm into like very grounded, like working with my body. Because if you have an illness or something, you won't gonna feel good. So you cannot focus in other things like gratitude or like you cannot do what you want. You don't
exactly
feel
like
good.
we were talking about yesterday about the fact that we are taking our health for granted, and then when we got sick, like when we were calling each other, hey, I got a back pain.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been through it, been there, done that.
Yes.
Girl, you should do these exercises.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you got lifted up from the back pain. So health, physical health, is very important, and we tend to take it for granted. We don't work for it, and we don't embrace it, or don't come. You don't do like you don't prevent illnesses by a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
But there is a time. There comes a time in our lives, probably after 35 years old, when we start caring about this.
I think you have to look holistical, because we are like, yes, spirits in the body. So you need to take care of the body after a while, after let's say 35, 40. So when you feel good in the body, you're gonna feel good also with mentally. It's something that I hear once, that when a person is ill, the only focus that has it's into getting healthy. But when you are healthy, you can focus in any other thing. So that's the reason for you have to take care of the body, because that it's allowing you to focus in other things. Because if you focus just in getting healthy, you forget about other things, and it makes sense.
It's like the motivation pyramid from Abraham Maslow.
Exactly.
When you don't have food on the table or shelter above your head, you cannot be spiritual. You cannot go and do mindfulness and meditation think about what is fulfilling you on the inside, or on a hierarchic level, or professionally, or in any other way.
Totally.
On the other hand, another idea that popped up earlier in my head was that eating healthy food is also good for happiness, because different colors are influencing our mood, and different minerals and substances from the food are going and interacting in our body.
Yes.
They're transformed into amino acids, and they actually go and boost the neurotransmitters.
Exactly, yeah.
So there is a neurochemistry in the body that boosts happiness, and with all the dopamine and serotonin that we don't always and only get from working out, running, or eating something good, or making love, or laughing like crazy. Yeah. We also can get it from food at one point.
Yeah, definitely food is influencing our hormones, and our hormones are influencing our mental being.
Yeah. So going back to the ways of cultivating our happiness, what was it? The gratitude practice, the physical activity, the healthy food balance, wellness balance.
I think it's also information, like to really read and understand how we function like beings, like how our mind is functioning. And I think nowadays we have a lot of podcasts and books, And I love the podcast because I can paint and still listening, or in the car when I have to drive, I have 1 hour, I can put the podcast, and it's very easy to get informed and educated, actually.
Yes.
So,
People need this
yeah,
all
because
the time.
if you don't have the information, you don't know which changes to do. So always the information is helping you to choose what is best for you, not necessarily for everybody. To understand, okay, this can resonate with me, or this can work for me. Also, I think it's good to not be afraid to try things, because sometimes you don't know actually what is good for you. So you have to try. Like, for example, for me, I had many years of being vegan, and when I reached 40, that didn't work for me anymore. So not being afraid to try, to make changes, to not get stuck in some ideology or ideas, like what is the trend now. I think it's important to always try and see what is working for you.
Be flexible, be brave, be curious. And there is another component of it. It's relational. Because they have made a study, a Harvard longitudinal study on 80 years already. And they have discovered, now there are grandfathers. They used to be children 80 years ago. Now they're very old or probably passed away.
Yeah.
But during the years, they have interviewed people, the same people at different ages. They have pursued their lives and experiences and what they did and all. And they have discovered the importance of good relationships and the connections, the social connections, for longevity and for happiness. Because isolated people, lonely people, will get depressed very easily. They spiral down because they don't have, they don't mirror their activities. They don't measure and don't balance themselves and their doubts and their fears and
the fire down
with nobody else. So they tend to be depressed. They don't live as long as other people who are, like, for example, the Chinese from the Blue Zone documentary.
Exactly. Yeah.
The Chinese people who are living in 4-generation houses, and there is a grandmother and the grandmother and the daughter and the little one, and they were all singing and painting or sewing or cooking around, eating around the
like
table.
A tribe.
Exactly. So you need a tribe. It's always better for you to have a tribe in order to be happy and live longer.
Yeah, I think it's again, I agree and not. It's like, I mean, it's like a paradox. I think we can live with that now. The same. It's not for everybody, because if you are introverted, maybe you don't need so many people because you are so much into your curiosities, your explorations, and you need a little bit less people. If you are extroverted, you need much more people. But I think obviously everybody needs like friends and people that they resonate with, and sometimes doesn't really have to be friends, just somebody maybe you go to like a club, reading club, or like art events, or I don't know, maybe dance events and so on. So it's important to find a tribe that you feel that they understand you, and they connect. You connect with them, because I know I'm a little bit more introverted, and I don't need as much friends as I needed when I was like 20. And also, I understood that if you know a lot of people, not everybody actually understand you and you connect with them.
Exactly.
If you have just one, I think it's enough. And I think that obviously we are social beings. The humanity evolved through the community. So we need you need a community, obviously.
Yes. Yeah. Related to what you said earlier, that one is enough. I have another theory here, and I realized that I cannot obtain everything that I need for my life from one person.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be fair to ask for like your significant other to provide you whatever you need, because we tend to put our happiness outside of ourselves. We don't reach for it inside. We don't cultivate things to grow our well-being from the inside, because we don't want to do the work. It's easier to point out and to say, I want you to provide me what I need.
But I think this is the work that we have to do. I think that ultimately, I think we have to do that, because you'll never find a person that fulfills everything. And it's a lot of pressure for that person. So yes, you either have a lot of friends or people that you surround with that, but also you cannot keep them all the time. Like the people leave and they change, and in some point you have to cultivate that fulfillment from inside. But that doesn't exclude like having people around. Definitely not. Yeah.
How important is love? Because love also can be in many forms. But is love important for us?
Yeah, definitely. Everybody wants to be loved. It's just that, looking back in my life, I know that I loved completely different when I was young, and I'm loving completely different now. And not just the love for my significant one, but also like for my parents, for my friends, for what I'm doing, for myself. That is really important. So I think that it's important to find the way you love and understand which is your way, how you need to be loved, because everybody has a different way, different needs in love. I don't think that it's something, the classical bring me flowers, and I think it can be completely different. So it's like my husband never brings me flowers, but it's like, for example, is doing things that are so small, but I know that he did that because he thought that will help me. So there are very little things, and just the fact that he's doing that, I know that it's thinking at me, and he understands me. And like, for example, the most beautiful compliment that he did to me was, "I love how you act in life." And that for me was mind-blowing, because I understood that he saw me. He saw my actions and who I am and my choices. So when I was young, probably the most beautiful compliment was like, "You look so good," But now at this age, I understood that is more important than how I look, because this is like, inevitably everybody is getting old, and the beauty is something that it's
fading.
It's fading, exactly.
And in the end, it comes from the inside, and the spark in our eyes is what we need to go for.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's and also I think the love for yourself, that it's the most important, really. And the love for yourself actually can be, let's say, understood from different angles, like sometimes putting like boundaries and understand yourself, what it's like, what you need in this moment, and having boundaries for the people around you, because sometimes you practically you are not happy because you don't you don't respect your boundaries, you don't know what is your boundary, and finally the people don't know which is the boundary, so they will gonna cross over.
Exactly.
So that's one of the things, and I think it's understand yourself. It's something, love for yourself is something that is changing again, because you change. You are not the same at 20. You are different at 40, 50, 60, and so on. So it's something that you all the time you have to understand, to study yourself in a way, and
to polish and to refine.
Yeah, exactly. I think to be sincere in life, it's an art of balancing yourself all the time, because we all the time change. So that balance, it's always different, and it's the art of balancing.
So the pursuit of happiness, my dearest,
Yes.
in the end, is this art of balancing who we are every day in our actions and in relation with the world and with ourselves. Thank you for now. It was very nice. It was a pleasure to have Anna in this conversation.
Same here.
I'll reach out pretty soon. Bye for now.